Or do I just get you to introduce yourself, because I can never pronounce your name?
That's right. So I'm Olly Rybarczuk, and I'm local.
Rybarczuk. I must get that name into my head because I first met you when you were 16.
Yeah, about that.
You're now a bit older than 16.
Yeah.
And you're now, did I see you property owner?
I am, yeah.
So you've joined the establishment, and your music, I can tell from what I see, is getting brilliant.
No, thank you.
But there are lots of really, like that little band that was on there. They're good musicians, aren't they?
Phenomenal, yeah. And I play with all those guys with different projects and stuff.
Because you teach music.
No, that's right, yeah.
I mean, in Jersey, there's so much talent. I mean, there's talent, artists. They've got things going on in here. Musicians, creative people. The place ought to be bursting. This ought to be the European Renaissance.
Sure.
It should though.
No,
and they could invite international artists to come here, play. They were playing Muddy Waters just at the beginning of their set. Of course, he played here.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
I think he played here twice, actually. And I missed him both times.
Oh, no.
You imagine Muddy Waters here. I mean, of course, everybody, blues bands like that, they play Muddy Waters, don't they?
Yeah, but I heard a lot of people played here back in the day. I think the Stones did, really early on, the Beatles.
That's right. And soon it'll be your name up there.
Maybe.
Up in Lights. You might have to change it to a simple like Smith or something like that. So how are you getting on? Is it good? The music scene's good?
Yeah, I'd say it's really good over here, especially after COVID. It's really starting to pick up. I get calls quite a lot because I dep for quite a lot of bands, like a lot of function bands, and doing a couple of performances at this festival and stuff. So yeah, I think it's really starting to expand a little bit.
Right.
I've got high hopes for next year. I think.
I mean, do you play classical guitar, Spanish guitar? Is that?
Well, I mean, I played acoustic today. It's not really the same thing.
Right. No.
I don't really do much sort of classicals. I can though, because I teach. So I teach like.
I walked into a garage one day. There was a mechanic there a few years ago, and he was plucking away at his guitar, Spanish guitar, to a really high standard. He's a mechanic, and I didn't even know he could play. And it's just. That talent is here, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Where's the next move for you? You're teaching? You're playing?
Well, all of the above, really. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of all those things together is kind of, making me a living, I guess. So, mainly teaching.
You've got a mortgage to pay now, of course.
Precisely.
And of course, that's going to get more expensive. Don't want to make you too cheerful, but all of a sudden.
Fortunately, I've got it fixed.
Have you?
Yeah, so.
Oh, right.
I'll be okay, but it's just, once that's over, who knows?
As long as you don't have an accident and have to go to the hospital, because we can't afford that anymore.
That's right, 40 years mortgage, long time. The
people who you teach, how expensive is it to have lessons with you?
So it depends on what you're learning, and it depends on who with. Privately, with Jenkin Music School, it's £50 an hour, or £60 for audio production.
Right.
So I teach, it's basically like how you record and make music with computers. So.
What sort of age group do you aim at? Does it matter anybody?
All, yeah. I mean, the schoolwork I do, my youngest students probably about like 5, 6, really young, all the way up to GCSE A-level age, and then my private students, everything. I've taught students who are retired. Students that are about my age, a little bit older.
78?
Yeah. I think the oldest student I've taught is probably mid-70s.
Really?
So, yeah.
Of course, I haven't got the old arthritis coming in. Whether it's good or bad for arthritis, I don't know, but arthritis is certainly not helpful. You've got to use your fingers, and for most music you have, unless it's just your voice.
Certainly, yeah.
But then, back when I saw you at 16, you had a brilliant bloody voice for singing.
Oh, thank you.
You did? Do you sing much? Is that part of your...
Yeah, I mean, I was singing earlier today, because me and Ferret did a set out outside the Blue Notes.
Did you?
The Cider Press, yeah, it's like acoustic blues kind of thing. So, I still do a bit. I try and avoid it though, because
really?
I'm a guitar player, so it's like I like playing guitar for singers rather than doing it myself.
I mean, I don't know what he was playing. I didn't hear all the set today, but the mouth organ. I wish they would play a bit of Sonny Boy Williamson.
Yeah.
Now Sonny Boy. I saw him. One of the people I did see in England.
Okay.
He used to get this sort of cello sound out of it, and I've never heard it quite, but I could hear it on when he was playing today. The harmonica here, there were notes there that were sort of Sonny Boy deep notes.
Yes. Yeah.
A real reverb, and it is strange because you can hear somebody. And it's them. Same bloody instrument.
Yeah.
But it is. They had on the other day. They had a bit of Stefan Grappelli, but the Yehudi Menuhin. There was and he was playing violin like he did. He could play other things. I don't know classical music, but of course once he starts playing with Stefan Grappelli, that sort of music, I tune in, I think, God, this guy's brilliant. I mean, he can play that music, he can do it, no problem. I know, how is it? How can they just switch? Can you switch very easy? Can you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of stuff, a lot of different genres and that. It depends really. I mean, quite often I get like a set list and I've got to learn it for like a wedding or something, right? And so that can be anything from like, funk, top 40, blues, pop, whatever, right? And you just figure it out, you listen through to it a few times, figure out what tone you're going to use, how you're going to, get it all set up with your guitar and your amp. Right, see you, man. Right.
Of course, amps. Of course, they got a load of amps on that stage, and I say it bugs me because I can't record if there's so much noise. Because I like to do a vocal interview. That's what I like to do, apart from the music. Because I can't do justice. I can record the music, but it all reverbs all over the place, and you get the drums disappear, or they're too loud, or the cornets. I haven't got a recording studio, so I got one little primitive little handheld camera. It's not good enough. I mean, it'll do an interview like this, and that's okay. But I wish they wouldn't do it quite so loud, because I can't get anywhere near, and I can't do any interviews anywhere near them. And I don't know what does the public want it loud? Is that your feeling?
Yeah. Oh, I'd say for an event like this in the Royal Square, it's kind of necessary just to get the spread. I think, sort of draw people in.
Right.
I mean, for me, I play a lot. I do a lot of like heavier music as well. So the music I'm used to playing is actually quite a bit louder than this.
Right. No.
But I think it's kind of important, but at the same time, like as you say, some people got hearing aids and stuff these days, and it's a difficulty, and you have problems like feedback and other things on stage if it's too loud. So I suppose it's a double-edged sword.
For events like this, do the groups get any payment, or is it all voluntary?
Yes,
they do get something.
We do.
Because that used to bug me. I used to organise a few little concerts, but I'd want to pay them, and they said, we don't want to be paid. I said, well, it's not fair. You're taking your time, you're bringing your gear and all that.
Yes.
I've got to pay you. So I've got to pay you something. I've got to give you something.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, because obviously that is if a pub puts on an event, they might not get many people turn up. They've still got to come out their profits, and pubs have been the last 2 years decimated, weren't they, for COVID? Yeah. Where's the pub favourite for you?
Right now, I mean, before COVID, Blue Note, Troubadour, a lot of those kind of venues. Now it's changed up a little bit, obviously Troubadour's gone. Well, I think it's still there, but they're doing like acoustic acts and stuff.
Right.
Like full bands. I do a fair few. Most of the stuff I do these days, to be honest with you, is like private events and corporate events and stuff. So there's no escape from you then. Yeah. So as far as the pub kind of gigs, I'm not doing as many, but I still do a few.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that is the essential part. Social, even like the Blue Note, it's a super little location, but you're a bit too close to the band if they're a conventional band. Yeah. And you can't chat, because people want to chat, and they don't want to spoil your music, but they just, that's good, that's interesting, that's good. And you can't really converse. It's a problem. It is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So somehow or other, you've got to make the customers feel a bit comfortable, because obviously they got to part with some money. They got to spend money, drinks or food, whatever it is. So all's well with you. All's well in your part of the world.
So far, yeah.
Well, I'm very pleased. I'm glad you're sticking at it, because I say, when you were 16 and the guy you were playing with, the drummer, you were brilliant, because you've never played together before. That was what's extraordinary. A bit like that band there. They're just a pickup band, aren't they?
No, I mean Duke plays together. That's Duke. They all play together quite a bit. They play with Lauren Ivy. Right. Lauren Ivy and the Engine. Those guys. I mean, most of the musicians you'll kind of see today all play in a variety of sort of different lineups and stuff. Sometimes even I play with some of them. So even if you get a new project together with a drummer, bass player, or guitar player, they've played together in so many other bands that you can
Is there much of a kind of, I mean, I go on the Jersey Musicians site and just have an eye at what's going on. Is there much of a community of musicians here? Are they cooperating with what they are?
No, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, good.
There's a lot of crossover, yeah. Like as I said before, I get a lot of calls to do function gigs and stuff like that. A lot of that is because I've played with that bass player or that saxophone player at another gig, and I'll get the call because they need a guitar player or they might need a bass player or something, right? So there's a lot of that, there's a lot of word of mouth and real community.
Because they ought to arrange that famous, is it New York and Chicago, all the jazz players, and they're all lined up, and they got all the big names. Somebody happened to be there one day with a camera. He said, let's take all your pictures, and there's dozens of them, and it's all the Coleman Hawkins, all these big top names in jazz. They're all there. They ought to do that with Jersey, capture people together. I'd love to see that. I'd love to do a picture, a panorama.
Sure.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
But it's getting everybody together. Well, it's good of you to speak to me.
Yeah, no, thank you for.
I don't know how much longer we got to go for your next 30 years. Will be your 30th birthday.
No, we'll see, but yeah.
You'll probably own a whole load of houses by then. And
God knows.
if somebody came along with an offer to do something big, would you do it?
Well, it would depend on the pay mainly. You know, because I play in a band in England. We have a record
Oh,
deal.
do you?
Yeah, you know, it's a metal band, so
Right.
you know, school holidays I'll go over, I'll tour, I'll do other stuff. But again, you know, being in a touring band's not like it was,
No.
you know, in the 70s, 80s,
No.
whatever. You know, you get by. You know, you get your regular, you know, payments from Spotify and stuff like that, your royalties. But it's not like. You know, a substantial amount of money. It's just enough to keep it all going. You know,
in my day when I used to go and see the bands in the 60s, you used to get these package shows,
Yeah.
and you'd get a dozen or 15 top American players
Yeah.
for nothing. You paid 10 and 6, half a guinea, whatever it was, even money. We don't even talk in those terms now.
Yeah.
And you'd see them all. Brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. That can't happen anymore.
I know. Yes.
It's so sad. I mean, it's better for the players, I suppose, as long as they've got work somewhere. What was the one I saw the other day? He was playing with. Oh, I can't now. Thanks for speaking to me. It's been excellent.
Nice one.